during a woman's hands and a woman's eyes never lie. Guys, how many times have you been pounding her, right? And you see her do this. And she starts holding on to the bed sheets. Or if you're hitting her missionary style, she reaches back like this and she starts holding on to the bed or squeezing the bed. You know what I mean? That means you're giving it to her good and she's feeling it, right? You have to study what she's doing during. What I like to do, I like to I'm very vain, and shocker, right? I'm very vain. I like women to obsess over me. I like women to be turned on by me, right? That's just who I am. The more a woman is into me, the more she's obsessive and calling me and texting me and like dying to get my approval, the more like I get turned on by that shit. I'm like, yeah, baby, want me more, worship me. I'm your God, right? That's just who I am. And again, I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. I mean, go fuck yourself. That's just who I am. That's what gets me off, right? The more a woman is into me, the more I harder and more viscerally, dude. When she's like screaming and she's into me and I can feel that it's real, dude, I like a gallon. I lose like 7 pounds after I bust that nut. And that thing is like forever, man. I Jackson Pollock this. It's just all over, and it goes up. It goes all the way up to her neck. I'll pull out from below and shoot my load. It'll go all over her stomach, all over her neck, right? I'm just like I so get off on that. Right? That's what makes me excited for all the ladies out there listening to me, because I know you ladies watch me. I know you do. Call me. Call in right now. Tell these guys that I'm right, because I know I am. If any of my shadow watcher ladies are watching right now, call in. I'll keep you anonymous. I won't blow up your spot. Numbers on the phone line right there. Numbers on the screen, 657-383-1318. I see you stalking my Instagram. I see you. Some of you send donations, and you know who you are, and you know I love you. But that's just what I like. That's what I'm into. But I kind of went off on a tangent there. But the point I'm trying to make is that the hands and the eyes don't lie. So what I like to do is test them. So when you're kissing a girl, right, be aware of it and kind of retreat a little bit and see how into it she gets. See if she starts becoming the aggressor. See if she starts getting into you, and see what she likes. Okay? I was having sex recently, and I was with the girl, and I was her, and I could feel her body was in total submission to me, right? She was facing me this way. I had my left arm around her, kind of coddling her, holding her, and I had old righty-tighty here was her deep inside the, right, deep up there, and I use the middle finger because it's the longest finger, right? So it goes up deep inside, and then pull out slowly, trace up the lines, and then touch. Right? Let me show you. Let me get a diagram here to show you guys. Diagram. Let me show you guys how to give a woman a good. Okay. All right. All right. So take a look at my mouse here. Okay. So this here is where the goes inside of the woman right here, okay? So, and then when you shoot up into this is the uterus. This is where the baby is gestated. This dark lining right here is the nutrients for the baby. When it's fertilized, the egg is fertilized, it goes in there, it sticks somewhere here on the wall. And then if there's no eggs or no fertilization, this gets shedded every month, and that's her period, and it comes out through here, right? So when you are putting your inside her or your finger, the G spot is right here, right? Is like a ribbed portion of the where pleasure is. To be honest with you, and I feel sorry for everybody. I feel sorry for the dogs when I'm about to say this, but the feels like the roof of a dog's mouth, right? If you ever run your finger along the top of a dog's mouth, the kind of feels like that. Don't abuse your dogs too much, but if you never felt the spot and you don't have access to it, that's a good way to figure it out. Okay? So you put your finger up inside this here, and then you run it along. You put your finger inside. Make sure your nails are cut short. You put your finger up inside, and then you drag it out, right? And I drag my finger out here, and then I rub it along here up to the right here, and then touch it, okay? So you go in, you rub it like this, you rub it in, pull it out, and then you rub the as you run up, right? Here's another right here. So your finger's inside there, and then you run it up this part right here, and then you run it to touch the right? If you touch the exactly on the for some women, it will be too sensitive. There's a fold of skin that goes over the right here called hood, and you can rub on top of that piece of skin, and it will move the under the hood, and then this will also excite her. Every year is my year. Wasted John says, MLT, this is fantastic. Thank you for this pure gold. You're very welcome. I told you it's going to be a good episode for you guys that stick around. The ones that have this attention span of a hamster, sorry, you're going to miss out. Okay? So I was doing this, and I could feel that she was enjoying this because her body kind of went limp, right? She was like paralyzed from the pleasure. And then I could feel her starting to, right? They feel, you can kind of feel like a gestation or like a bubbling in their kind of stomach. They'll start gyrating, and they'll start shaking from the hips, right? And you're doing this, and then I felt her, and her body was like kind of, she was shaking like this. And then she was shaking for a while, and she's like, ah. And then, and then she's like, ah. And then she just laid there. And, she was really into it. She looked at me. She was like, oh, my God, this mom. And then she immediately went over to me and started pleasuring me. And then I got on top for missionary, and I started, hitting it again. And then I felt her come again. And then, after twice, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Check, please. Hit my nut. Good to go. Right? But for that particular girl, I was a little bit more observational with myself. Right? I was a little bit more observant in her body, in her behavior, and I was able to give her what she wants. Next morning, I love you. I'm going to cook for you. You're the best, right? Once you hit these women's desires, they will give you the world, man. They will absolutely give you the world, okay? So how do you know her that exact desire? Just ask her, It takes a little bit to get them to open up, but you have to let them know. Remember that crazy girl I dated in Hawaii? She was telling me after when we broke up, she started opening up to me, telling me her desire. I was like, what's your sexual desire, right? She's like, I want to be fucked by 2 men at the same time. And I can't, again, the difference between an amateur seducer and an advanced seducer is the amateur seducer judges her and shames her for this. But the advanced seducer accepts her. Be like, okay, so this girl's kind of a freak. She wants to get a train run on her. You know that for you, based on your belief system, she's not a keeper. And you want to make sure that you put her strategically in her life where she belongs.